Battle Axes of the Most High. Brother Robert Top coming back to you on a Thursday afternoon class. The time to stop playing the game. I hope all is well out there with all the brothers and sisters that's probably on break right now, or like chilling, getting ready for the new moon. You know, or just in general. Shalom to all. But we can go ahead and jump straight into this thing. The name of the title is "Get Out Your Feelings," because a lot of times our people just they tend to think with their heart or whatnot, not knowing that your heart is actually your mind. And like out of it, is the issues of life and it's desperately wicked and we're gonna get into all that. But the first precept we're gonna go ahead and get is Deuteronomy 28:54. It's one of those street precepts that we have to always get 9 times out of 10. It never fails on Sabbath because, brothers they wanna always, you know, get in their feelings or be tender hearted or so to speak because they don't like correction. And that's why a lot of people, they be in their feelings because they don't like it. Because nobody ever told them that, hey, you need to do this, that, and the third, or otherwise you're gonna die. They get offended by it, but we trying to tell them, what's right according to the Bible. But it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. I'll read that again. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. So, hey, the Most High God, he know his people to the T, man. He said, so that the man that is tender among you, being tender, man, or being very delicate, acting like a woman, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. So, like, even going into the aspect of, like, saying if you, like, just walking around somewhere in a mall or if you're at a club or something like that. Not saying that we supposed to be at a club, the Bible says we ain't supposed to do that, but saying, like, when we was in the world or whatnot and we was doing those things, if a brother actually need to step on a man's shoe, he'd be ready to kill him, being tender and delicate. But, reading on, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. So not only is his eye evil toward his brother, but it's evil toward the wife of his bosom. Because even last Sabbath when we was at camp, it was his brother, basically beating on his girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. And all of us we had like a altercation with her or whatnot. Like we had exchanged words. They went and got their people. We was standing our ground because we ain't trying to hurt our people, but we will defend ourselves, man. But more of the story, he was being a tender and delicate Negro. But and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. And we know that's like a big major thing in our nation. Because a lot of people was women raised or whatnot. They didn't have their fathers in their house because and 9 times out of 10, either a man wasn't trying to take care of responsibility, or sometimes the Most High God he already call them home or to the chamber of souls or whatnot. But next precept we're gonna go ahead and get is Jude 1:19. It's the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 19. These be they who separate themselves, sensual, having not the spirit. Read that again. These be they who separate themselves, sensual, having not the spirit. Because this even goes into like the truth as well. Like brothers and sisters in this truth, they start to separate themselves whenever they can't handle correction, man. Because we know the Most High God and the Son Yahweh Shai, they all about order, man. From the beginning of time to the end of time, it's always gonna be order, man. And like if you can't take order, you are gonna die. And the Most High God, he ain't gonna want to deal with you or whatnot. But even going into like the aspect of brothers and sisters that start leaving camps or whatnot, they feel some type of way whenever they get that type of rebuke or whatnot. But it's not like the brothers is telling them wrong. It's just hey they can't handle it, and they start becoming sensitive, having not the spirit. And we know what the spirit is. John 6:63. We can go ahead and read it. It's the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. Because even when you read that, it said it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. Because when you in your feelings, you that's your flesh, like basically trying to speak for you or whatnot. And then you stop trying to take the correction or stop trying to, apply the word, and then you just start thinking cornily, man. Because it's always gonna be spiritual versus corny. But the flesh profited nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life, going into the commandments. But going back to Jude 1 and 19, these be they who separate themselves, sensible, having not the spirit. Well, the next precept we're gonna go ahead and get is Proverbs 4 and 23. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Read that again. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Keep your mind with all diligence, man. Like, take control of that thing, man. Don't let it override, the right thing. For out of it are the issues of life. Because the moment you start thinking with your heart or your mind, hey, wicked things start to proceed out, and you start taking on wicked actions. And then you wind up getting chastised or getting some type of judgment for it. But next precept we're gonna get is Jeremiah 17 and 9. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So even in this precept alone, like people say that, hey, I got feelings and most High God gave us feelings. Yes, He gave us feelings, but whenever it starts going against scriptures, hey, you gotta let that thing go, man. You gotta let the Most High God be true and every man a lie, because that's what it is. Like whenever you start thinking with your mind, hey, that's you leaning unto your own understanding, or like leaning unto like what man say, or what the Most High God say. The Most High God say, hey, you gotta wear fringes. That's just what that is. The Most High God say, hey, I love you, Israel, and I hate everybody else. That's just what that is. If He tell you you gotta grow a beard on your face, that's just what that is. Women, hey, I gotta wear dresses. That's just what that is, man. Because hey, who are you to say tell the creator, hey, I wanna do this, that, and the third, or I wanna be made like this. But like going into like the precept they're talking about the potter and the clay. How is the clay gonna tell the potter what to do, man? When he's the creator of all things. But reading on, it said, who can know it? Like the Most High God, he basically having like a sense of humor, so to speak, talking about who can know it. Because us as men and women and children, we don't know about the heart, man. But the Most High God knows it because He made it. Verse 10, I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruits of his doing. So I know a lot of people, they'll probably look at this and say that, well, see right there, that shows you that we have free will. You don't have free will. Most High God, He'll let you, choose either life or death. That's the only, free will you have. He's talking about according to His ways and according to the fruit of His doings. So whether they be good fruit or whether they be wicked fruit, whether they be good ways or whether they be wicked ways, the Most High God, He's gonna, judge you according. But going on to the next precept, Proverbs 27 and 5. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Read that again. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So like, throughout this the 9 minutes that we've been through this class or whatnot, I've been talking about rebuke and correction or whatnot. And it says open rebuke is better than secret love. So it is better for a brother to like openly rebuke a brother that you love, or so to speak, than to like secretly have respect the person for him. Because the Most High God, he won't only punish that man, he'll punish you as well for, having that secret love. Talking about to the point where, shalom, sis, but to the point where you'll let him do any and everything. But then when it comes down to the next brother that you ain't really that cool with, you try to hold him to the fire, man. Most High God, he'll destroy you and that man. But going on to the next precept, Titus 1 and 13. This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 13. This witness is true. Read that again. This witness is true. Meaning, hey, ain't no false way in this, man. Wherefore, rebuke them sharply. It didn't say rebuke them softly. It said rebuke them sharply, man. Like, even whenever you keep reading on in Jude, it says some have compassion and others say with fear. Sometimes you gotta save brothers with fear. That's what that rebuke them sharply goes into, man. Going into like you're not finna play the game. Like you gonna let them know, hey, thus said the Lord, and that's it. But reading on, that they may be sound in the faith. So it's all for their good or whatnot in the end. Because the Most High God, ultimately he wants all these people to make it, but he understands that all these people is not gonna accept him. Or it's not gonna get it or whatnot. But he's giving every man opportunity to repent. But like what his words say, 2/3 they gotta perish and die, man. So it's written in his word. So therefore, hey, he can't change it, man. Like once he say it, hey, that's just what that is. But going on to the next precept, Romans 2 and 11. Now we're gonna go back to Proverbs 27 and verse 6, because I ain't get 6. Because I got it written down on my paper, but I ain't get it. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. I'm gonna read that again. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. So like, yeah, what's the wise saying? Like tough love or whatnot. And it says faithful are the wounds of a friend, because a real friend, hey, they gonna let you know up front, like, hey, brother, you shouldn't be doing that, man. Hey, brother, you need to repent for that, man. Or brother, you need to fast for that. You need to pray about it. You need to so on and so forth or whatnot. Because that's real love, not that secret love that was talking about in verse 5. But reading on, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Read that again. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. So those so-called friends that you have or whatnot, if they're not rebuking you sharply and letting you know what you need to do, what you don't need to do, or like say even like how they always bring up Jerubbaal and Benaniyah. Say if you got like 4 different color greens on, man, and that friend talking about, man, you hard in the mud, you just clean in the mud, lying to your face, man. Those are the type of people that you don't need to be around. But reading on, what that's it on that. We're gonna get Romans 2 and 11. Because like yeah, you may be in your feelings about it going back into the class, but at the end of the day, hey, that friend is being true to you, man. So get out your feelings. But this is the book of Romans chapter 2 and verse 11. For there is no respect of persons with God. Read that again. For there is no respect of persons with God. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. Well, verse 11 is the part that I really wanted. It says, for there is no respect of persons with God. So the Most High God, hey, he don't care if you old, you young, hey, you just got here, hey, you finna die or whatnot, hey, shalom, not. Most High God, he ain't got no respect of persons, because if you doing wickedly, he ain't got no respect for you, man. And he ain't finna play the games with now one of us. But let's see where he got there from. Or like, in Romans. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy 1 and 17. Because that's really like, that's a commandment. Like, we ain't supposed to have no respect for persons. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgments, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. So even going back to like how it says, hey, you shouldn't have respect to persons. Just because you know that brother's gonna give him his feelings or that sister's gonna give him his feelings, you ain't supposed to have respect to persons, man. You're supposed to tell him, hey, get out your feelings. But going on to the next precept, we're gonna give like a few examples of this. Because you know, throughout the whole Bible you had a couple of brothers that was, you know, sensitive. I know some of y'all is you know, being here for a while. Y'all know one of the stories that I'm gonna go into, man. Cause we always talk about it. But this one that I'm gonna go into now, y'all know this one, cause this is Jerubbaal favorite precept, or like, you know, one of his favorite verses to go to all the time. But this is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel, and to his offering. So, like, in this aspect, the Most High God, he did have respect for Abel because of what Abel did. The Most High God commanded him to give his firstlings, so, you know, the Most High God, he respected that. But best believe, if Abel was going off, the Most High God wasn't going to respect that. He wasn't going to have no respect to person, so to speak. But reading on. But unto Cain and to his offerings he had not respect. Now read that again. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. So he didn't have respect for Cain. Let's see why. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Read that again. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So basically Cain was in his feelings about it because the Most High God, he didn't have no respect for him. He didn't like appreciate the offering that, you know, Cain they gave, man. Because like even how we was talking about yesterday, me and Jerubbaal and a couple of other brothers and sisters. Basically, Cain gave the like the fruits of the vows of the air or whatnot. Like not to butcher it or whatnot, but basically we was going into like how like, you know, the wheat, how we wheat and like basically you know, planting fruit and vegetables and stuff or whatnot. And you know, it's a process. Like everybody's supposed to get what they supposed to get out the vineyard, and then at the end, before you burn it or whatnot, you know, the fowls of the air, they supposed to, you know, eat the remainings of it. But that's basically what, you know, Cain gave to the Most High God. He gave what the fowls were supposed to be using. So the Most High God had an issue with that. But reading on, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? So the Most High God asked Cain, he was like, hey, if you do well, shall you not be accepted? But reading on, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. Read that again. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. So if you ain't keeping his commandments or doing what's commanded thee, sin lieth at the door, man. But reading on, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Read that again. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So sin will rule over a man if he ain't doing, you know, thus saith the Lord. But verse 8, and Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. So Cain got so much into his feelings to the point where he killed his own brother, man. He let what the Most High God, you know, basically after everything the Most High God had told him or whatnot, he still took it upon himself and killed his brother, man. All Cain had to do was, you know, try again, man, and give the Most High God his first or whatnot. And the Most High God, he would have accepted. But instead, he took matters into his own hand, leaned on his own understanding, started trying to, think with his heart or his mind, and he killed his brother. But verse 9, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So, you know, Cain being smart with the Most High God, he talking about, and he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Basically, am I supposed to keep over my brother everywhere he go? But verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. So like we know blood is symbolizes life or whatnot. We can get something in there real quick. And we can go to Leviticus 18 and 25. I don't want to get too far from the class, but just to edify. Unlike some, like if brothers don't understand or sisters don't understand, like why I said his blood cried from the ground. It wasn't talking about like a literal cry, but there's life in blood. We don't go into that. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 25. That's what I want. Verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these things the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you, and the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. That's what I'm saying. 1 second. Yeah. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So, like, this is another precept going into, like, how we know that blood has life in it or whatnot, because throughout history, hey, we know our people have been slain or whatnot because this land has been built off the blood, sweat, and tears of our people. We can go ahead and get another precept, and we get back to the class. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So like even going into this aspect of whatnot, like how we just talking about like our ancestors, being killed like throughout history or whatnot, and like that blood of them, it can't be cleansed. The land can't be cleansed by that, but it has to be cleansed by the blood of them that shed it or whatnot. So going back to the class or whatnot, we can go back to Genesis chapter 4. It's the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. So this is what was one of the judgments of Cain for doing that to his brother. Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So Cain not having the spirit on him or whatnot, not knowing that the Most High God said, hey, I ain't gonna put nothing more upon you than you could bear or whatnot. Because he talking about, hey, this punishment is too great for me, man. It's too greater than I can bear. But verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. So, basically, Cain is basically regretting what he was doing, talking about that, hey, these people, they gonna come, if they find out what I did, hey, they gonna come back and try to kill me. But let's read verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any man, any finding him, should kill him. So we know Cain, he also, the Most High God also gave Cain leprosy or whatnot. That's what that mark is going into. But you see what the Most High God said above that. He said, "Hey, vengeance is mine," said the Lord, man. So if anybody else try to lay hands, or if anybody try to lay hands on Cain, just believe, hey, I'm gonna kill you or whatnot, and it shall be returned upon you sevenfold. But going on to the next precept or next example, First Kings 21 and verse 1. All right, this is the book of First Kings, chapter 21 and verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Nabat the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Nabat, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee, for it is a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. So basically, in other words, Ahab was basically coveting Nabat's vineyard or whatnot, talking about, hey, your vineyard look better than mine, and because I'm king, hey, I want it, and I'll pay whatever is needs for it or whatnot. But verse 3, and Nabat said to Ahab, the Lord forbid it to me. Salaki, the Lord forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. So Nabat, hey, he knew what the Most High God, told him to do. He talking about, hey, this is the inheritance of my fathers, man, so I can't give you that. Verse 4, and Ahab came into his house, heavy and displeased, because of the word which Nabat the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down, upon his bed, and turned away his face, and would eat no bread. So basically, excuse my language, but Ahab was acting like a bitch. Like, sometimes we got to make it, plain or whatnot. Because, hey, though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge, man. But that's basically what Ahab was acting like, man. He was acting like that because, hey, if I told you, hey, I'm not finna do this, man. Because, hey, I'd rather put up with you than to put up with the judgment of the Most High God, man. But, verse 5, but Jezebel, Shalaki, his wife, came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad, and thou eatest no bread? So Jezebel, we know what type of spirit Jezebel had. She had like a sort of authority over the man type of spirit. So she tried to take matters into her own hand. Verse 6, and he said unto her, Because I spake unto Nabat the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, Doest thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? So, basically, Jezebel trying to, hype a man up, talking about, hey, ain't you the king of Israel? Arise, reading on, arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Nabat, the Jezreelite. So basically, Ahab was in his feelings, and then, he had to have his woman step in, just like how a lot of brothers is now. Not saying brothers and sisters, getting around that time again. So, so basically, what we left off is, Jezebel, she basically was lying on yeah. So basically, she was lying on the bot and saying that, hey, he blasphemed God or whatnot. So verse 11, and the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles, who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written, and the letters which she had sent unto them. They proclaimed a fast and setting about on high among the people. So, she even got it to the point where, hey, she had the elders and the nobles to proclaim a fast to basically, getting about overthrown or whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump down to verse 23. Verse 23. And of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, the dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that died of Ahab in the city, the dog shall eat, and him that died in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. So basically, for him being in his feelings, and for him and his wife lying on, one of the kings, they got put to death or whatnot. So get at your feelings. But going on to the next precept, this is the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 1. This book of Second Chronicles, chapter 18, and verse 1. Now after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. What I want? Shit, this is First Chronicles. Chill out. This is the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 18, and verse 1. Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor and abundance, and joined affinity, I think that's how you say it, with Ahab. And after certain years, he went down to Ahab to Samaria, and Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead. And Ahab, king of Israel, said unto Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, wilt thou go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered him, I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and we will be with thee in war. So this is, Ahab, asking Jehoshaphat, would he go to war with him or whatnot. But reading on, and Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Therefore the king of Israel gathered together of prophets 400 men, and said unto them, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for God will deliver it into the hands kings. So, the king of Israel, he basically was, trying to take counsel and to see what he should do, if he should go to war or should he forbear it. Verse 6, but Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, that we might inquire of him? So, Jehoshaphat, he trying to do it the right way, and he, get a prophet to, foresee, or to see what the Most High God wants ultimately or whatnot. Because, back then we had those type of powers where we can basically ask the Most High God about what he wants us to do. Should we do this, or shouldn't we do this or whatnot? But verse 7, and the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him. So Ahab, being the dude he is, he talking about, I hate him, man, because that man right there that we finna bring up, hey, he had no respect to persons or whatnot, man. He let the people know or whatnot what you should do or what you shouldn't do. But reading on, for he never prophesied good unto me, but always evil. The same is Micaiah, the son of Allah, I am like. I think that's how you say Amla. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. Verse 8, and the king of Israel called for one of his officers, and said, fetch quickly Micaiah, the son of Amla. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, sat either of them on his throne, clothed in their robes, and they sat in a broad place at the entering in of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenanah, Because as you said, Shalaki, if I'm butchering the names or whatnot, had made him horns of iron and said, Thus saith the Lord, with these thou shalt push Syria until they be consumed. And all the prophets prophesied so saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hands of the king. And the messenger that went to Micaiah, that went to call Micaiah, spake to him, saying, Behold, the words of the prophets declare good to the king with one assent. Let thy word, therefore, I pray thee, be like one of theirs, and speak thou good. Verse 13. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, even what my God said, that will I speak. So, they basically threatened Micaiah saying, hey, you better speak, great things of the king or whatnot. But, Micaiah was like, hey, man, I'm going to speak, thus saith the Lord. Whatever the Most High God tell me to tell y'all, hey, best believe I'm going to do that, man. Because he had no respect for persons. But we know. And when he had, and he, Shalaki, and when he was come to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, Go ye up and prosper, and they shall be delivered into your hand. And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjure thee, that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of the Lord? Then he said, I did see, I did see, shall I? Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return, therefore, every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? But reading on. Again he said, Therefore hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. So they mad at Zedekiah, man. I mean Micaiah, Shalai. They mad at Micaiah because he's like, hey, didn't I tell you that he wasn't gonna prophesy any good thing about me, but he's gonna prophesy bad? Hey, Shalom, Hebrew. But reading on again, he said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and his left. And the Lord said, Who who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall in Micaiah prophesying that what's exactly going to happen to Ahab. But reading on, and one spake saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. So this is going into like basically all the angels on the right and the left hand side, talking to the Most High God, giving him ideas and and trying to see the Most High God trying to see which one of these angels is going or spirits is going to entice Ahab. But reading on, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? So he like, hey, bring forth your strong reason, let me hear it. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, Thou shalt entice him. So there that angels, they are in complete submission to the Most High God, the good angels and the bad angels. But reading on, and thou shalt also prevail, go out and do even so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord had spoken evil against thee. Then Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek. So, Zedekiah being in his feelings, he wound up, basically slapping Micaiah for him telling the truth or whatnot. That's why Galatians 4 and 16, say what it say. It say, Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? But reading on. And smote Micaiah upon the cheek, and said, Which way went the Spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? So, he asking Micaiah, hey man, where's the spirit of the Lord, man? It was upon me. Where is it now? Not knowing that, the Most High God already planned all these things ahead of time. Verse 24, and Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see on that day when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. So, basically at the end of the day, Micaiah was letting them know, hey, I'm going to have the last laugh. But next precept we're going to go ahead and get to, because this goes into like our everyday life on like how we be in our feelings or whatnot, acting like we don't know what the word has said. I think I'm gonna have to invest in a kickstand or something. They do not want to stay up. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. I'm gonna read that again. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So don't be in your feelings about everything that's going on in your life or whatnot, because the Most High God, He already warned you. Hey, He said, prepare your soul for temptation. And Shalom, Officer Yaakov. But reading on, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So it said, constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. So whenever you do start, going through things or whatnot, don't be in your feelings about it. Go to the Most High God. He said, endure and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Don't be sensitive about it, but take it cheerfully. Don't be in your feelings about it. Take it cheerfully. And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. We're going on to the next precept. We're going to get 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh. Because we know in Christianity they got that bad talking about I'm a soldier in the armor of the Lord or whatnot. But hey, if you really gonna hold yourself to that title, man, hey, know what comes with it, man. Know that you're gonna have family that's gonna betray you. Know that it's gonna be, Jacob's troubles or whatnot. We're gonna be persecuted for this thing, man, and so on and so forth. So if you say you're a soldier, hey, live up to that, man, and start keeping these commandments. Because if you say you a soldier and you ain't keeping no commandments, you just a false claim at that point. But last precept is Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because we always got to go back to the curses, man. Because this is where, like, this describes our people to a T. And, like, it's something that we always going to have in our arsenal, man. No matter how deep a conversation gets or the meat of the Bible, it's always probably going to, well, not even probably, it's going to always revert back to the curses. It's a lot. But this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So, even going back to verse 47, it said, because you serve the Lord your God with joyfulness and gladness of heart, He's going to have us serve our enemies, man. And sure enough, we're serving our enemies, man. But with that, I say shalom. Hey, over here at the Battle Axes, we always say, keep the law, statutes, commandments. So we're going to get a law. The law for today is Numbers 15 and 38. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15, and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them, and command them, that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue, and it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a horn, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God. So, like, I know there's brothers and sisters that's out here talking about, hey, the fringes is on my heart or whatnot, but it said, hey, put them on the borders of your garments, man. And, like, I know they probably would say, hey, judge not according to appearance or whatnot, not understanding what that's really going into. When they say judge not according to appearance, that's going into like saying if somebody look like a so-called white man, so-called Asian man, he could be an Israelite. Because you know you go based off what your daddy is or whatnot. But the scriptures also say, hey, a man may be known by his looks. So if we don't see you with fringes, hey, 9 times out of 10, you ain't keeping the commandments, man. And that's a commandment. Out of the 613, that's one of them, man. But hey, with that, I say shalom. Hey, I hope y'all keep on it then. Hey, we getting ready for the new moon tonight, man. All praises for that. We're going into another month. Hey, the Most High God is speeding up the time for his very elect, man. Hey, and I apologize for the technical difficulties, man. Phone that overheated, phone keep falling down, you know. But, you know, the Most High God, his word still don't go out for it. Even though all the temptations that I was enduring just right now, man. Hey, I took the thing cheerfully, and I hope I was edifying to the nation or whatnot. And Lord willing, I see y'all later, man. Shalom.